The Bible Explained Like I'm 5, episode 14. Hello, my little Bible study friends. Welcome back to Matthew chapter 8. We're hitting the ground running with Jesus heals a man with leprosy. When I was younger, I used to think that leprosy in the Bible was a specific disease. Upon further research, it appears that leprosy is just any sort of skin condition. I thought it was particularly your skin turning white, covered in these sores. I don't know. Apparently it's just skin diseases. So, fun fact. Anyways, Jesus has just given his Sermon on the Mount, and now he's peacing out, and he's going to go do some more healing. On his way down from the mountainside, a man with leprosy came and knelt before him and said, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. "I am willing," he said, "be clean." Immediately he was cleansed of his leprosy. Multiple things that need pointed out right now. First of all, the man's faith. If you are willing, you can make me clean. He's not saying, can you? He's saying, you can, if it is in your will. Second of all, we might be underestimating how significant it is that Jesus just touched this man, because lepers were ostracized out of society because you couldn't touch them. You would be ceremonially unclean. You couldn't go in the temple. It might have even been for like a week. I don't know. It was significant uncleanliness. You did not touch lepers. The lepers would walk down the street and holler out, "Unclean! Unclean!" So nobody touched them. And Jesus walked up and touched this man, and people are like, and Jesus is like, yep. Next up, we have the faith of the centurion. So a centurion was a Roman military official, soldier guy, who was over 100 soldiers. Centurion. All right, so when Jesus went to Capernaum, a centurion came to him asking for help. Now, at this time, a centurion and the Jews are being oppressed by the Romans. The Jews are not big fans of the centurion, the Roman military, and the Romans are not that big of fans of the Jews. So here we are breaking the mold again. The Romans were superior to the Jews. Keep this in mind. So Jesus enters Capernaum, and a centurion came to him and said, "Lord, my servant lies at home paralyzed, suffering terribly." And Jesus said to him, "Shall I come and heal him?" The centurion replied, "Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority." For a centurion to lower himself enough to come ask a Jew for help is crazy. And then on top of that, I don't even deserve to have you come under my roof. Okay, so this centurion knows he's not talking to any old Jew, especially considering he's calling him Lord. He is very much aware that Jesus is something different. Continuing on, when Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said to those following him, "Truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Okay, pause. What he's saying is these Gentiles are going to take the place of a lot of the Israelites, the seeds of Abraham. He's grafting in these Gentiles with more faith than the Pharisees, the regular layman Jews of Israel. He is saying this centurion has more faith than anyone he's ever seen in Israel, because this centurion was so confident that Jesus could just say the word and his servant all the way at home would be healed. And he was 100% confident in it. Then Jesus said to the centurion, "Go, let it be done just as you believed it would." And his servant was healed at that moment. Incredible. Jesus heals many. When Jesus came into Peter's house, Peter was his right-hand man disciple. He saw Peter's mother-in-law lying in bed with a fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she got up and began to wait on him. When evening came, many who were demon-possessed were brought to him, and he drove out the spirits with a word and healed all the sick. This was to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet Isaiah. He took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. So Jesus is out here healing both physically and spiritually. Again, it cannot be stopped. Also, I just want you to visualize Peter's mother-in-law laying in bed with a fever. Jesus touches her hand, and then all of a sudden she shoots out of bed, and she's like, oh my, we have a guest." And then she starts serving him. Like she wasn't just literally on her deathbed. The visual is hilarious. All right. Next, we have the cost of following Jesus. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the lake, the Sea of Galilee. Then a teacher of the law came to him and said, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Another disciple said to him, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." But Jesus told him, "Follow me and let the dead bury their own dead." Now, these two little bits confused me for a long time. Because the guy is saying, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." And Jesus' response to me was very strange. I didn't know how to interpret it. What he's saying is, this guy is most likely just a groupie that wants to follow him because like he's cool and he's the next up and coming thing. And Jesus is basically rebuking that thought and saying, "I'm nothing. I'm a poor, meek servant, and I don't even have anywhere to lay my head. This is not fun. We're not going on tour. Like, do you want to actually follow me, or do you want to just follow me because you think we're going to be famous?" And then the next one confused me because it seems kind of harsh, like the guy just wants to go bury his father. Basically, what this guy is asking is, "I will come when I've done some other things first. I'm not ready yet. Let me go back and do a few things, and then I'll come back." And Jesus is like, "Follow me now." All right, so then Jesus calms the storm. Then he got into the boat, and his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us. We're going to drown." He replied, "You have little faith. Why are you so afraid?" He got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, "What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him." I want you to visualize this for a second. This is a little rowboat. Jesus is sleeping at the end of the boat. And we're talking like a hurricane level storm right now. The water's splashing on him. The disciples are probably screaming like little girls. And he's zonked. Not to mention that a lot of these disciples were lifelong fishermen. They know the water. This storm was so bad that they are literally crapping their pants, thinking that they're going to die. Jesus is sleeping right through this. If that does not tell you that he is beyond human, this is also important because what's coming up next is Jesus is restoring one or two, depending on which gospel you're reading, demon-possessed men. This storm has been interpreted as basically demonic energy stewing up this storm to try to prevent Jesus from coming to the other side and exorcising these demons, because when he does this, he's entering the Decapolis, which is a massive pagan area, and it's going to start spreading all over the place what he did. And so people think that this is a demonic energy to try to prevent that. They get to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, and there were two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs that met him. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. "What do you want with us, Son of God?" they shouted. "Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" Before the second coming. Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." He said to them, "Go." So they went out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water. Those tending the pigs ran off, went into the town, and reported all this, including what had happened to the demon-possessed men. Then the whole town went out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they pleaded with him to leave their region. Okay, so first of all, the demons know exactly who this is, and they're scared to death. Second of all, this man has just exorcised these ferocious, horrific, oppressive demons, legion of demons, out of these men. And these people are so scared, they're like, GTFO. Like, I saw what happened to the pigs. I don't want none of that. Get out of here. They were more scared of Jesus and upset about what happened to the pigs than the fact that these men were freed from extreme demonic possession. They should have been rejoicing for that. Still to this day, even after researching it, I still don't fully understand why they wanted to go into the pigs. I have not found an answer that satisfies me. Why they wanted to go into the pigs and then just eat themselves off the cliff. But the moral of the story is they were quaking in their boots at Jesus Christ. That's it. We're cooking faster now through Matthew. I'm going into slightly less detail and getting through chapters faster. So hopefully you like that. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.